as usual, we have a fan nomination as well as one of us. So for the fan nomination, this is one that people have actually been requesting for a minute. I just kind of tried not to nominate him because I don't want my feelings to be hurt. But the fans wanted us to nominate Ginuwine. This guy, of course, you have Pony, but he also has a couple of other huge records, Differences, So Anxious. He has a pretty strong catalog. Came in '96 with Timbaland and the Crew. Kind of was part of that transition from New Jack Swing to that more hip hop soul with the double stuttering beats. And Ginuwine was at the forefront of that. Kind of was one of the first people to bring dancing back to R&B. Still going strong today. Had TGT about 3 years ago. So is Ginuwine in the Hall of Fame?
Ed?
Oh, boy. So a couple of weeks ago, and I meant to bring this to your attention, you guys' attention, maybe a month or so ago now. There's a site called The Ringer, and I'm a big fan of. Shout out to my boy Vic Luckerson. He's one of the writers there, and it's a really great site that talks about sports and movies and music and a lot of other stuff. They aren't the R&B experts that we are, but I still respect a lot of their views. So a few weeks ago, they wrote about how Ginuwine is an R&B legend and how he should be respected as such. And when I read that, it made me think about the Hall of Fame, because a lot of the points that Kyle just brought up, that was mentioned in the article. And I agree that Ginuwine's legacy has, especially in recent years, because Pony is the makings of a classic song. I will kind of argue about what's a classic and what isn't. I'm not going to argue with you about Pony. That's a classic song. And his legacy, just based off of that song alone, is pretty strong. But if we're talking about Hall of Fame careers, I really struggle with this one, players, because he has some strong albums. Of course, 100% Ginuwine is probably his best. I also like The Life. I think that one's very underrated. Differences was a huge song for this time that people tend to forget about. But it's just missing that X factor for me. I don't know that I feel like Pony was influential, but I don't know if outside of that, Ginuwine's career was influential, if you feel me. So I'm really on the fence, but I might have to go with a soft no here. I could be convinced otherwise, though. So what you got, Tom?
I'm looking up his discography right now. I just remembered he was on the album that almost ended Nas's career, Nostradamus.
Oh my gosh. Don't get me started on that. That album actually isn't nearly as bad as the legend says, but that's another convo for another time.
I'm not going to disagree with you, Ed, for once. How do you feel about that?
I think you're lying, but go ahead.
Well, I just feel like he should have been bigger than he ended up, looking back, became. Like, he had 3 platinum albums in a row. He had Pony, he had So Anxious, he had Differences, which were all massive hits, among others, obviously. But lately he's just been stagnant. I mean, he's told Kyle that he doesn't love making music anymore and just tours. I don't know. I mean, I think he misses the cut. I mean, if you look at, like, The Senior, Back to the Basics, A Man's Thoughts, Elgin, I don't think any of those are really classics.
No, not at all.
Even The Life, 100%. Go ahead.
I don't want to discount what he did with those first few albums, because, like I said, I love The Life. Of course, The Bachelor's great. Of course, 100% is great. But I don't know if it's a potential thing, like you said. It's like he should be way bigger than he was. And it seems like once he cut ties with Timbaland in, like, the early 2000s, he just kind of was there. And he didn't continue to evolve and progress. But like I said, I know Pony is a classic, and I think people project the classicness of Pony onto Ginuwine and make him like as legendary as that song, and that's not quite doing it for me.
I just remember, I always felt like him and Usher were neck and neck in the mid to late 90s. The whole dancing thing they both had going on. And it's like, Usher went to another level, and Ginuwine kind of stayed successful, but didn't get to that superstardom. So
That's a great comparison.
Yep.
I don't know why. I don't. Maybe Kyle can fill in the gaps.
Well, leave it to Ginuwine fan number one to defend him. You know what though? I can't really. Well, first of all, let me say this. One underrated aspect of Ginuwine is he actually remade a Prince song and made it sound pretty darn decent with When Doves Cry. He also remade.
I liked it.
He also remade the Michael Jackson song "She's Out of My Life" and made that a pretty decent song. However, I will say, I mean, it's a no for me, but the reason why I say no, and I agree with all the points that you're making, it's when I think back to last week and how we did not induct Monica into the Hall of Fame. I can't.
Oh,
Yep.
God.
I can't fathom. I can't put Ginuwine into the Hall of Fame if Monica's not in it.
Oh,
That's my opinion.
Yep. See,
However,
we did was
it's trash.
Destiny's Child does deserve to be in the Hall of Fame, Tom. So don't get too excited.
that's
But no, I think you guys are right. After the Life, it sort of was a pretty steep decline. I mean, the senior is like equivalent to Hot and Wet by 112 in my opinion. That was a pretty bad
man.
album.
Oh my gosh, it's not that bad.
It was pretty.
I mean, it's not great, but it's not that bad.
It had two
Back-
amazing songs on it, though. But by the way, it had two
did it.
epic songs on it.
Well, I mean, the Hot and Wet album had. Let me see. What's good on Hot and Wet?
What had? I think it was like, what was it called?
Right
Like,
Here.
right here, or something
Yeah,
like that.
that Jodeci. Yeah, that's a great song.
That's the only good song, player.
Yeah, you might be right. Okay, well, I guess the senior is a little better than Hot and Wet, but you know, it's different too though. Like A Man's Thoughts, when that came out, and the song Last Chance came out, I think that was a couple of years late for its release. If that had came out in 2005, 2006, I think it would have been much bigger than what it was in 2009. And I think maybe if that came out earlier, we'd have a different conversation right now. But I don't know. It's close, but I'm gonna say no as well.
Oh
Yeah,
man.
our mention's gonna be on fire on Monday morning. But
And then
Yeah.
the last point I'll make, and you know, this is just off the top of my head. I don't think we can just put Ginuwine into the Hall of Fame because of, you know, Pony, which is a legendary classic record, because then one could make the argument, and Ed, you might make the argument that Montel Jordan is going to be in the Hall of Fame because he has a couple of legendary records as well.
I totally agree, and that's why I think that the Ginuwine kind of mystique is kind of wrapped so much into the legendary status of that one song. And again, he's a great, great artist. So anybody saying, "Oh, saying Ginuwine is trash," Ginuwine is not trash. But I think that song is so huge that people tie his greatness to that, and I think there has to be more than just one song. Because if that's the case, yep, Montel's going in. We putting in who was the guy that did the Skilo? We putting him in.
Oh,
We're
come
putting
on.
in everybody.
I don't think
Because
that's
it takes-
fair, though.
It takes more than one song.
I don't think that's fair, though. Come on. Ginuwine has like some really good songs, though.
No, I'm not saying he's a one-hit wonder. I'm not saying that at all. I'm saying that when people talk about his legendary status, they always go back to that one song. And to be a legend, you have to be bigger than one song.
Well, Ed, do you think he's closer than Monica to the Hall of Fame? I think it's pretty close,
But
personally.
I think it's no. I'm really close. If someone argued to put him in, it would be hard for me to argue against it. Like I wouldn't. It's not ridiculous, but I think he's really on the line. I think he's a little closer than Monica.
I think he's closer than Destiny's Child.
Oh,